Hello.
Runs, Devraj
Am I
sir, shall we
audible?
start session?
Oh,
Yes,
sure,
sir.
sir. Sure. Sure.
Yes. Rangaswamy sir.
Yeah, you can smell.
Okay, thank you, sir. To improve the golden moment of opportunity and catch the good that is in our reach is the great art of life. A very warm good evening to everyone present here. I am Manjanaikar, lecturer, Department of Electronics and Communication, Engineering. It is a matter of immense pride to stand here before all of you this evening and welcome all of you to this program. On behalf of the institution, we are delighted to offer a gracious welcome to our chief guests, Sri Dr. Rangaswamy T, Principal, Government Engineering College, Mosale Vaselli, Hasana, and Sri Devraj MS, Retired Principal, Grade 1, Department of Technical Education, Bangalore. I like to welcome Kumari Gangambe SB, Principal, Government Polytechnic, Harpanhalli. Now I would like to invite Sri Jafar Sadiq, IS, Lecturer, Department of Civil Engineering, to proceed with the welcome speech.
Good afternoon to all. Myself, Jafar Sadiq, lecturer in Department of Civil Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Harpanhalli. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all the dignitaries and participants to this valedictory function of 5-day FDP on Revolution and Advances in E-Vehicles, sponsored by ATAL Academy, AICT, New Delhi. First, I welcome our chief guest, Dr. Rangaswamy T, Principal, Government Engineering College, Musade Hosalli, Hassan. I also take an opportunity to welcome our another chief guest, Sri Devraj MS, Retired Principal, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Karnataka. I cordially welcome our resource persons who have delivered the lecture on different sessions of this 5-day FDP program. I cordially welcome Kumari Gangambe SB, Principal, Government Polytechnic, Harpanhalli, to preside the valedictory function. With her wholehearted support, we were able to conduct FDP at national level. I welcome Mr. Dhrukumar K, lecturer and program coordinator of this FDP. With his hard work, we have conducted national level FDP in our institution. I extend my warm welcome to all the participants without whom the FDP would not be possible. Once again, I welcome all for this wonderful valedictory function. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jafar Sadiq. Now I would like to invite Sri Dhruva Kumar K, Program Coordinator, Lecturer, Department of Science, to represent the national level ATAL sponsored online FDP report.
A very good evening to all the distinguished dignitaries, dear participants, and to my dear colleagues. I take this privilege to present a brief report about AICT Training and Learning Academy sponsored 5 days national level online FDP on revolution and advances in e-vehicles conducted from 30/9/2021 to 3/9/2021. The FDP was inaugurated on 30/8/2021 by the Honorable Director of Technical Education, Karnataka, Sri R. Manjunath Sir, and eminent professor from IISc Bengaluru, Dr. B. Anantanarayan, was the chief guest during the inaugural function. Totally, we have conducted 14 sessions, in which 13 sessions covered many aspects on e-vehicles, and remaining one session was about NEP 2020, specifically about the policies of the government towards e-vehicles and their mobility. The sessions were handled by the eminent resource persons from prominent institutions of India like IISc Bengaluru, NITTR Chandigarh, NITK Surathkal, Christ University, Alliance University, Konkan University, Thailand, and also from industries like Decibels Lab Private Limited and Scania Group, Sweden. All sessions were meaningfully delivered by the resource persons, and it enriched the knowledge of the participants. Totally 200 participants across the India were attended the FDP program, including 129 participants from Karnataka. We feel proud to inform you all that ours is the only government polytechnic in the state of Karnataka got the approval to conduct AICTE sponsored program for the consecutive 2 years. We hope in the future also we get lot of programs of this kind, and we will look after for enriching the knowledge. We heartily thank the AICTE Training and Learning ATAL Academy for providing the opportunity to conduct the national level FDP program, and also I thank Honorable Commissioner, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Karnataka, Honorable Director, Department of Technical Education for supporting and guiding to make the FDP a successful one. I thank all the resource persons for accepting our invitation, attending the session in time in their busy schedule, and delivered the FDP at their best. We appreciate their valuable time and knowledge shared with us. Also, I thank our former principal, who is now with us as a chief guest, for guiding and mentoring and giving full support to apply for the FDP and to get the approval. Also, I thank our principal Gangame Madam for all the support in making this FDP a successful one. Also, I thank all the heads of the departments, teaching staff, and office staff of our esteemed institution for providing their unconditional support towards the success of this FDP. Finally, I thank my family members for their unlimited support in making this FDP to happen. Without their support, this FDP would not have achieved this success. Also, I thank each and everyone who are directly or indirectly involved in this FDP to make it a grand success. I promise that in future also we come back with many more knowledge enriched programs and always work towards spreading the knowledge. And finally, this is not an end, this is the beginning of new things. So with this note, I close my FDP report. Thank you once again, all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Dhruva Kumar. I would like to invite participants to give feedback. I like to call upon Sri Siddhalinga Swami Matar, lecturer from GPT Bankapura.
Hello, good evening everyone. Myself Siddhalinga Matar. Hello. Hello. Hello sir. Am I audible?
Sir.
Yeah, go
Yes, sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir.
Myself Siddhalinga Matar, lecturer in Mechanical Engineering Department, Sri Channakeshava Government Polytechnic, Bankapur, sir. First, I would like to thank Mr. Dhruv Kumar and his team for choosing this wonderful topic, one which is currently applicable and emerging technology in automobile sector. I am very much thankful to him, and the covered by Mr. Suraj and team from very wonderful sessions they have covered, especially the introduction to e-vehicles, the first session, and the different dynamics of the vehicle, different forces acting, heating and cooling system for the battery. That was very unknown to us initially. Why the heating is required, why cooling is required, that they have very clearly explained. And Professor Hanish sir was presented very nicely about the revolutions and in electrical vehicles and their performances. And also Mr. Bharat was delivered regarding the mechanics and modelings of the electric vehicles. And Anjula madam, really I very thankful to her. She has clear given picture about the challenges in front of the government of India to implement the electric vehicles and the scopes, importances and the policies which are framed by the government of India to implement the electrical vehicles in India. And Dr. Dishore sir has given overall picture about the history of EVs and the working principle of EVs and the current status of EVs in India with compared to other countries also. And Mr. Venugopal Pratimala sir has delivered very presentation very nicely regarding the batteries and different materials which are used in batteries. That was very wonderful session regarding the materials which are used for the batteries and their performances. And Dr. Dinesh presented different types of EVs. That is today's sessions, both sessions were very wonderful and meaningful regarding the hybrid EVs with more number of clear slides, pictures, and very clearly understandable things he has covered. And he has also given the principle behind those hybrid vehicles and their techniques. Overall, it was a very vast and in-depth knowledge transfer FDP. This FDP was related to the most of the disciplines of our engineering, and it is required at this stage, I hope and I think, because to educate and implement EVs in India at this moment is very important. So we should get the prior knowledge about those, especially the technical institution teachers should know these all details, basic details. Then only we can educate the students and the society. And the special thanks to the disabled team, especially the corporate team will not spend much time for such FDPs or for such presentations, but they have given a valuable team, the whole team. I am very much thankful to them, and they have given very core knowledge about EVs. That is very important. And I wholeheartedly thank our Commissioner Sir, Director Sir, and Devraj Sir, Gangambika Sir, for giving this opportunity to organize and attend this FDP. Very much thankful to them once again. And I expect in future also such wonderful FDPs and the valuable resource persons, eminent resource persons, we expect in future also, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your feedback. Now, I like to call upon Saraswati Madam, lecturer from GPT Lingasugur. Saraswati Madam. Okay. Next, I like to call upon Prashant Kumar J, lecturer from GPT Arkere.
Sir, Saraswati here.
Hello. Hello.
Sir,
Am I audible?
Saraswati Madam.
Sir, sorry, sir.
Okay, sir,
I got
once
a call.
again.
That's why I disconnected.
Yes, madam.
Sir, sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Because I got a call. That's why it's got disconnected.
It's okay, madam.
Sir, okay,
Continue,
sir.
please.
Sir, sir. First of all, I would need to give a that means just a clap. So, sir, giving such a nice FDP program, I would thank all the staff members of Government GPT Harapnalli and even Principal Madam. So it's a very nice program and it's very informative, deep to up to. That means it's the whatever the knowledge they have shared, each and every resource person, sir, whatever they have shared and this information is very very informative, and we got, that means whatever the topics they have, there is a full connectivity, there is no breakup. Each topic is interconnected, and I think there is no drawback in the informations. And we got information regarding the e-vehicles, battery operated hybrid vehicles, that combination of a battery and a fuel systems, performance, battery management systems. So each and every person, so they have resource person given a very informative information, sir. And it's a very nice program. I would once again thanks to the GPT Harapnalli, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for your feedback. Now, I like to call upon Prashant Kumar J, lecturer from GPT Arkere.
Hello. Am I audible? I am Prashant Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Okay. Dear all, good
Yes, sir.
afternoon. I am Prashant Kumar J, lecturer in Mechanical Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Arkere. So learning is a continuous process to enrich our knowledge. So FDP is the one of such a method to widen and deepen our knowledge. So I am very happy to share my feedback on FDP, revolution and advances in e in e-vehicles, sponsored by the AACT Academy and organized by the uh, Government Polytechnic, Harapanalli. So there were 14 sessions in the FDP. All sessions were very informative and they are related to the subject. And also there were the research persons were uh, from the eminent institute, and they are all gave us such a wonderful session, and they shared their experience with all the participants. So in that 14 sessions, actually the sessions delivered by the Venugopal sir on energy storage and control system was very attractive to me. And all persons and all resource persons are very accurate in their time, and also they are very specific to the topic. So and also hence actually before this FDP, I had limited knowledge on e-vehicles, but after going through this FDP, I gained I gained much knowledge on e-vehicle, so that it will be in my mind. And it may be useful while buying EV vehicles. And also on behalf of all the participants and personally, I thank to all the staff of the GPT Arpalli, and also especially I would like to thank the principal Gangama Madam, and also the coordinator Mr. Dhruv Kumar, and also the event anchor Harish CP for their special effort. And also I wish all the success, and also I request GPT Arpalli's team to conduct many more FTPs in this regard, so that it will enrich my knowledge. And thank you one and all.
Thank you so much,
Hello?
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now I like to call upon Nalini Kumari from Hyderabad.
Good evening to everyone, sir.
Nalini madam. Okay.
Yes, sir. Nalini, sir. Myself, Nalini. I'm from
Okay.
Hyderabad. I completed my
continue,
MTech in Power Electronics and Drives from SRM University, sir. I am very glad to give the feedback to your FDP, sir. As I am attending so many FDPs on electrical vehicles, like you conducted from the resource persons from eminent institutions, and also from these private decibels company. This is very helpful as a student for me to start my career in electrical vehicles. And we hope like these FDPs to conduct more in future also, sir, so that we will continue our career. And one more thing, if any hands-on sessions will be there, no, sir, it will be helpful for like myself, like starting for beginning students like me. And apart from that, it is very good FDP, sir. Like I attended 2 more FDPs on electrical vehicles, but it is effective compared to all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for Dhruv Kumar, sir. Throughout this FDP, he is managing everything. And thanks for GPT College of Harapanalli, Bangalore, giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for your feedback. Thank you all for the feedback. The fragrance of flower spread only in the direction of wind, but the goodness of a person spread in all directions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with Sri Dr. Rangaswamy T. Principal as the Honorable Chief Guest of the Valedictory ceremony. I like to call upon Mr. Sridhar CJ, Lecturer, Department of Mechanical Engineering, to introduce our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Dr. Rangaswamy Sir, to all of us.
Good evening to all, Chief Guest, my dear colleagues and participants of FDP. Myself, Sridhara CJ, Lecturer and Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Harapanhalli. It gives immense pleasure to introduce about Dr. Rangaswamy T. Sir. Sir, presently working as Principal at Government Engineering College, Masale Hosaldi in Hassan, Karnataka State, from the year 2019. Sir obtained his Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering in the year 1990 from the University of Mysore and MSc in Engineering in the specialization of Thermal Engineering in the year 1997 from Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan. Drives from the University of Mysore. And later on, Sir obtained his PhD in Composite Materials from Anna University in the year 2006. Sir has started his career at Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan in the year 1990 as lecturer and later on worked as senior lecturer, assistant professor, professor and HOD in the Malnad College of Engineering. Sir also served as professor and head in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Government Engineering College, Hassan from the year 2010 to 2019. His area of research are the composite materials, smart materials and MEMS, finite element analysis, design optimization, CAD, CAM, additive manufacturing. Sir has attended and presented various research articles held in the South Korea, Dubai, France, China, Japan and USA. Sir also worked as visiting professor in the Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, Thailand during the year 2012 to 2013. Sir received various prestigious awards like Best Paper Award from the Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai. Sir has published 34 papers in the international and national journals also. Sir guided more than 45 MTech projects and 8 PhD scholars. Sir delivered special lectures in the country and coordinated various programs and recognized with many awards for his achievements in the field of engineering and technology. I welcome you, sir. Thank you all and thanks to Coordinator Dhruva Kumar, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sridhar. I invite Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Dr. Rangaswamy, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much for
Hello, sir.
that nice introduction by Dhruva Kumar. First of all, I'll convey my sincere thanks for inviting me as a chief guest for this valedictory functions, concluding started from 5 days back, which is the topic of revolution and advances in e-vehicles, which is the topic of the more important discussion these days, right? And way back, if you go just 15 years back, we have only limited vehicles, like we have only an Ambassador, we have only a Premier Padmini, we have only Contessa cars, that too limited colors, right? So if you go for Ambassador car, we have a white color, and we have Premier Padmini, we have limited yellow or taxi and white color, and for cities like district, we have hardly you can find 1 or 2 cars. After 85, once the globalization starts, right? So all these vehicles, I'm just stick on to only the cars, right? We go for beyond that, automobiles, right? So cars, if you take, right? So the car, like you have started, anybody can make vehicles across the globe, right? Somebody will come here, they started, and they sell it in some other country. So earlier days, before 1985, those days, so you have to produce and you have to make and you have to sell in your place only. There is no any much R&D in those days, right? So now those days we are restricted only for instead of you call it as e-vehicles, we call it as only M vehicles. M vehicles means mechanical, or you can call it as A vehicles or automobile related vehicles only, because almost all components rarely by electrical or electronic components they use, but for that more than 85 components, 85% of the components they are made either by automobile and mechanical components only. Then after the 85, the revolution started in the area of automobile sector, right? So then slowly the mechanical and automobile components will be slowly converted to electronic components, right? So now we are calling as vehicles, and this E, now I can call it as the E started in the year 1985 afterwards. Now we just look back the electronic components, because if you look at any new vehicle, right? If you visit any vehicle, you want to buy a car for any company, that doesn't matter, right? Asking the model will be keeps on changing once in 3 months, right? So you can choose the color. If you tell the color is available. So earlier days you do not find much color, as I said, right? Either only 2 or 3 limited colors, right? So here you can see wonderful colors you can find, and from that you can see the comfortability. What you call it as ergonomics is concerned actually inside where the driver seat conditions and where the occupants, the side occupants will be sitting. There the comfortability gives a more important these days, and they are giving more importance these days, right? So keeping that in mind actually, so people are the industry people. They are having their own R&D sectors, and they are planning to rethink, and they are revising, they are optimizing the vehicle inside and outside the body of the vehicle. Making that these days you can find airbags, you can find brake, and you can we are in the era of virtual driving, virtual everything in virtual status, right? Making that electronic components will be replaced from mechanical, right? So that era 85 to 2000, it is completely, and even till today also we are completely occupied by electronic vehicles. But since 2 years afterwards, because of many reasons, maybe the exhausting of the natural gases, like whether it's a petroleum or the CNG gas or a petroleum, and the pollution, all keep in mind. So people are start thinking of converting electronic components towards electrical components, right? So they're thinking, and every R&D center, they are seriously thinking of making electric vehicles. So electric vehicles, yes, everybody knows what is electric vehicle actually, and that will be completely replaced by mechanical and electronic components, and you do not have any whatever the drawbacks which you can observe in the electronic or mechanical vehicles, like you can find RD, zero emission, simplicity, reliability, cost, comfort, efficiency, accessibility, driving range, charging time, battery cost, bulk and weight. All these parameters will be directly reflected to make and think of going for electric vehicles actually. And moving on that, so these days we are the country, we are I can say we are not up to mark of releasing a vehicle. Countries like in India, the e-vehicles, because it needs a lot many things. I think in the last 5 days, I think you have heard what are all the hurdles you are facing and get to face in the near future when you start driving a e-vehicles, right? One is the charging point, just like a petrol bunk. You need to have a charging point every corner, maybe at least every 15-kilometer distance. You need to have at least one charging point. That is the first and foremost and important point to be keep in mind. And apart from that, so you have many advantages also, many advantages, reliability, comfort, and we have a daily rate, charging time, and battery cost, right? So here the last point which I said actually battery cost. So battery cost is much higher rate. So because I'm just sticking to my talk just for 5 minutes, because as I advised my colleague Mr. Harish, my student, so it's just restricted to 5 minutes. I don't want to go for elaborating. the company, the American company Tesla, I think all you know it. So which is having, they are going to plan to roll out their fully electric vehicle in India probably in the next year end. They already started R&D center near Bangalore. And in that direction, it is successful vehicle in other countries, particularly in Western and European countries. But in India, they are the first who are having an R&D and making electric vehicles fully in our Indian soil. So making all these points, we have some more important points. If we categorize them, e-vehicles such as battery electric vehicles, we have plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, we have hybrid electric vehicles, we have fuel cell, that is also very important, fuel cell electric vehicles, and we have extended range electric vehicles. All these are the near future for our Indian automobile industry as well as Indian economy wise, and definitely the near future for countries like in India, that we are the developing countries, makes us the e-vehicles more attractive one. So, and before stopping my words, right? So, whatever the topic of selection by the coordinator Dhruv Kumar and his team, wonderfully selected revolution and advances in the e-vehicles, which is of the present scenario, which is a very important and nice topic, and probably near future also, I think for a similar kind of FDPs can have in the same similar lines, because these days everybody talks about artificial intelligence. You have everything will be robots, everything will be e-vehicles, right? So think in that direction, and make possible for attending those kind of sessions, particularly for like our teaching community. And before I conclude, I once again thank my another chief guest, Devaraju MS sir, and President Kumari Gangambe SP, and Mr. Dhruv Kumar K, for giving me an opportunity. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Rangaswamy sir, for your influential message. We are charmed by your sharp fluency. Once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Nothing great will be achieved without great men. And men are only great if they are determined to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have with us Sri Devraj MS, retired principal, grade 1, as the honorable chief guest. May I kindly request Sri Lohit S.Y. Lecturer, Department of Computer Science Engineering, to share a few words of introduction about Sri Devraj MS.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Lohit, Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Harapnalli. It's an immense pleasure to introduce Chief Guest Sri MS Devraj, retired Principal, Grade 1, Department of Technical Education. He joined the Department of Technical Education as a lecturer in Mechanical Engineering. He worked as a lecturer, senior grade lecturer, selection grade lecturer in GPT Raichur, Davangere, Karwar and Harihara. He served as a principal in Government Polytechnics, Angal and Harapnalli. 2 new polytechnics buildings were constructed during his services as a principal in GPT Angal and Harapnalli. 2 online ATAL sponsored FDPs were successfully organized during his services as a principal at GPT Harapnalli. He worked as a member of Diploma Curriculum Committee, and also he served as a chairman of Mechanical Examination Board in the Board of Technical Examination, Bangalore. I thank to Mr. Dhruv Kumar, coordinator, for giving me this opportunity to introduce Sri MS Devraj, retired grade 1 principal, Department of Technical Education, and I thank each and everyone who made this FDP grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Lohit sir. I invite Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Devraj MS, to address the gathering.
Good evening, everybody. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Rangaswamy T, Principal of Government Polytechnic, Harapnalli, Gangambe, coordinator of the program, Sri Dhruv Kumar K, and fellow participants throughout India. First of all, I congratulate the entire team of organizers of FDP, Revolution and Advances in E-Vehicles for having organized the program successfully. This is indeed a remarkable achievement by Government Polytechnic Harapnalli. As mentioned by the coordinator Dhruv Kumar, GPT Harapnalli is the only government polytechnic in the state having been approved to conduct 3 faculty development programs by ATAL Academy. Last year, I had the opportunity to engage in many of the FDP related activities during my tenure as the principal of GPT Harapnalli. It is heartwarming to see that the efforts are multiplied and so the success in endeavors. The title of FDP itself is relevant in the modern technological era. As the whole world is putting all the efforts in mitigating global warming and environmental pollution, the e-vehicles are the need of an hour. It requires multidisciplinary approach and continuous research and developmental activities to build a safe and exceptionally good quality e-vehicles in the near future. In that way, effort behind organizing this FDP is appreciable. India, as you know, is the second largest polluted country in the world. Among the top 10 cities or top 10 polluted cities in the world, 6 are in India. Almost all vehicles in India are running with fossil fuels, petrol and diesel. India's oil import is 84%. That means we are manufacturing only 16% of our requirement. Introduction or shifting over to e-vehicles is a challenging task. This may be due to the cost of e-vehicles compared to IC engines, internal combustion engines, lack of technology, lack of skilled workforce, possible disruption in automobile sector, charging infrastructure, components ought to be imported, that too from China, which the country which has no good understanding with India. There are many vehicle manufacturing in our country and also abroad, and some time must be given for them to develop infrastructure. If I purchase a Maruti Swift car, 4-wheeler, you can say like that, for 8 lakhs. Tesla Model 3, it costs nearly 60 lakhs. So this is the rate difference is so much that a common man cannot afford to purchase a e-vehicle. If it is a petrol vehicle, I can fill 40 liters of petrol and drive the vehicle for 600 kilometers. But I cannot drive e-vehicle for such a long distance without recharging in e-vehicles. There are about 60,000 petrol bunks, but only 3,000 electric recharging units in India at present. Recharging points must be made available at short distances of at least 10 kilometers. Recharging also takes much time. 24/7 electricity availability is also the important factor that is to be considered. As you know, 80% of the electricity produced in India is generated from coal and gas. There also the pollution problem. And there are transmission and distribution losses of about 20%. Like this, there are so many challenging factors. Apart from this, what a common man can do to protect our environment. So one has to promote the use of bicycle for short distances. For this, what I feel is a separate bicycle path is to be provided on roads so that bicycle riders will not be having any traffic hurdles. I have gone through the brochure. All the topics were carefully selected and well-qualified resource persons were chosen. I hope all of you have been benefited by this. by this program. Here, please, one request what I can make is, please transfer this knowledge to the student fraternity and look after the opportunities in organizing these kind of programs in future, as well as for the benefit of the mankind and society. I once again congratulate the entire team of Government Polytechnic Harapnalli for having conducted this program successfully, and then I wish lots of success in the coming days. I once again thank all the organizers for having invited me on this gracious valedictory function, and thanks to one and all. Jai Karnataka, Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge with us. Your words were full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. Thank you once again, sir. I now invite Kumari Gangambe SB, Principal, Government Polytechnic Harapnalli, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you, Manju. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay. Namaste to all. Respected chief guests, Dr. Rangaswamy T. Sir, Principal, Government Engineering College, Mosulai Hosalli, Hassan, and Shri M.S. Devraj Sir, former Principal of Government Polytechnic Harapanahalli, resource persons from various national institutes and different industries across India, and all the participants from Karnataka and across India, Coordinator Shri Dhrukumar K. and the staff of GPT Harapanahalli. Very good evening to you all. Dr. Rangaswamy sir mentioned the progress in automobile sector over the decades, and Shri M.S. Devraj sir highlighted the challenges in adopting the EVs as a main transportation medium. Having said this, I do hope this 5 days faculty development program on revolution and advances in e-vehicles has helped all the participants. There were many sessions covering introduction to EVs, induction motors, batteries, or the impact of grid connected charging stations on the stability of the grid, role of technical institutions, government policies, hybrid EVs, modeling of EVs, battery management systems, EVs in Indian scenario, etc. From eminent speakers. IC engines being very pollutant and the fossil fuels becoming exhausted, which made us to think of the alternate solution, that is electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. There is a lot of scope for researchers to take up their research in the area of EVs, as there are many issues to be addressed, like battery should be capable of fast charging and it should discharge at slower rate, the size of the battery, life of the battery, and the cost of the battery, etc. And coming to the motors, there is a lot of research going on in keeping the losses to minimum extent possible, while utilizing the regenerative braking and the torque development in the uphill and in the starting. And coming to the infrastructure development, like fast charging stations, which can fully charge battery within 30 minutes or so, and also has to study about the grid stability, as the semiconductor devices which are used in the fast charging stations, they draw the nonlinear current from the grid. There again, we have to think of the power factor corrections and the stability, the frequency variations, and the power factor corrections has to be taken care of. Indian government is very keen in promoting EVs over IC engine vehicles in the near future. Most of the IC engine vehicles on road are going to be replaced by EVs in another 15 to 20 years. But another challenge is the increased demand for the electrical power in the future, when most of the IC engine vehicles will replaced by EVs. There will be a huge exponential growth in the demand for electricity. As of now, whatever the conventional sources of electrical power we have, from them it is not possible to meet that demand. So then we have to think of the alternative solution, that is the renewable energy sources like wind power or solar power, etc. Again, there the issue comes that the solar or the wind sources, they are intermittent. From them we cannot generate power all the time at equal rate. So all these issues are so interconnected and interdependent. So there is a lot of scope. On top of all these issues, and again on top of many encouraging policies, people are not very comfortable to buy a e-vehicle as of now, mainly because of the range anxiety. Range means the mileage, range anxiety, and lack of infrastructure for charging, as we have petrol pumps every here and there for IC engine vehicles. So as of now, that facility is is not at there. So we do hope many of the participants are interested to take up their research work in the area of EVs, and I hope this FDP might have helped them. I would like to thank Honorable Commissioner Sir and Honorable Director Sir on behalf of the Institute. Because of their support, we could arrange this FDP. And I would like to thank the chief guests of today's event, Shri Rangaswamy Sir and Shri MS Devra Sir, for their time. And I would also like to thank the resource persons for sharing their knowledge. And I thank and congratulate all the participants for enrolling to this FDP and on successful completion of this FDP. And also thank and congratulate to the coordinator of the FDP, Shri Dhukumar K. And we appreciate his efforts he has put in for the successful completion of this FDP. And especially, I would like to thank specially to Shri MS Devra Sir again for his constant support during his service. And finally, I would like to thank all the staff who were involved and joined their hands with the coordinator and the staff of Government Polytechnic, Harapanahalli, Karnataka. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gangambe Madam. Once again, thank you, Madam, for sharing your knowledge about electrical field. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. As we come to the close of our valedictory ceremony, I invite Sri Madhu NS Lecturer, Department of Civil Engineering, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I am Madhu NS, Lecturer, Department of Civil Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Harapanahalli. It is my privilege to convey a vote of thanks on behalf of institution. We are extremely happy and thankful to our Honorable Commissioner Sir, Shri Pradeep, and Honorable Director, Shri Manjunath Sir, for their support and inspiration towards the conduction of this faculty development program. I would like to thank, on behalf of our institution, to our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Rangaswamy T, Principal, Government Engineering College, Musule, Hassan District. We are honored by your presence and thanks for inspiring us with your words. I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Devraj MS, retired Principal, Grade 1, Department of Technical Education, Government of Karnataka, for joining this valedictory function. Your thought have enlightened our minds and shown us a new path to our institution, sir. I thank our principal, Kumari Gangambe SB, for her constant support and presiding this ceremony. I would like to extend my thanks to Mr. Dhruva Kumar K, the program coordinator, for conducting this national level faculty development program. I thank all the resource persons to make this faculty development program a very successful one. I thank all the participants and everyone in this ceremony for your gracious presence and making this event successful one. I thank one and all who put their efforts for conduction of this ATAL Academy Faculty Development Program. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you, Madhu sir. The end of a story is the new beginning for many others. On this note, let's conclude a remarkable, memorable, and knowledgeable valedictory session. On behalf of the institution, we sincerely thank the dignitaries for being with us this evening and enlightening us with their enthusiastic remarks. I shower my heartfelt gratitude to the lecturers and everyone for their wholehearted support rendered in the success of this valedictory session. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and fun-filled evening. Thank you once again.